Hi, Alex Ross here from Tech Data Security Solutions, and I want to take a few minutes and talk about the impacts of our lives after COVID-19. Now, this is a three-part video series. Last time I covered the impacts to businesses through business transformation that I think we're going to see over the next couple of years. And today we're going to focus on the retail and e-tail industry. And lastly, in a couple of days, I'll come out with a video on the individual experience and how we're going to feel our lives change. So today, as we look at retail and e-tail, I think we should start with the thought that consumer buying behaviors are absolutely changing. They have been changing over the last couple of months. New habits are being formed. I think the result of that is that apparel stores and big ticket item stores and discretionary goods stores are going to struggle a little bit as people have lost their jobs, or they might be conserving their money and not spending it on the next biggest screen TV they can find. But food industries and consumable industries are going to continue to do well. What really is going to matter is for retailers who need to get people back in their stores, it's going to come down to focusing on your brand. People recognize brands, but they make a connection to your brand. How often are you on social media promoting how your brand is helping with the recovery of COVID-19? Does your brand make people feel good about themselves, which is a time right now when people just really need to feel good? You need to generate trust, reliability, and build a sense of community around your brand so that when it's time to market to them, they're willing to buy your solutions. Now, retailers are struggling a little bit because of the move to digital commerce, which can be great for a retailer who embraces it. But if you're not moving some of your technology, some of your products online, someone else will, and they'll be stealing your customers. Think of the grocery industry. I used to think ideas like Instacart were just not going to be a thing. But the truth is, Instacart's new subscribers have been off the hook for the last couple of months. People don't necessarily want to go to the grocery store to buy their food. They would rather either go do curbside pickup at Walmart or maybe have it delivered to their door in a weekly schedule. So if you're not thinking about how you can transfer some of your retail solutions to an online experience, you're going to be behind the curve. Speaking of curbs, stores like Macy's and other apparel stores are actually buying and selling online and having people come pick up at the curb. Really innovative idea that retailers can be thinking about. Now, another way that I think we're seeing a change in consumer behavior is germophobia. People are just afraid to go into a retail store and touch something that other people have touched. I don't know about you, but when I go to Walmart and Costco and I look at that shopping cart and I think, do I really have to touch that handle? Like, the last thing I want to do right now is grab that handle and push the cart around the store because I'm likely to die if I touch it. The truth is that it's probably not as bad as I'm imagining, but people absolutely don't want to touch things that other people are touching. So as a retailer, are you focusing on things like contactless payment systems? Even having to touch those buttons on the credit card swipe machine makes me nervous. I'm much more likely to pull out my iPhone and just tap in order to pay for something. We're also seeing in the restaurant industry, buffets. People are less likely to eat buffets in the future. Sweet Tomatoes is a restaurant in our neighborhood, and it's like a salad buffet. It's fantastic. But number one, they can't really operate during COVID-19 because you can't do pickup service for a buffet. And number two, people are less likely to buy from somewhere where people lean over and breathe on your food. So restaurants and stores that have to think about germophobia are going to be smart as they redesign their processes and think differently about the solutions they're going to offer. Cooking at home is going to impact the behavior of the consumer as well. I think we've developed a new habit over the last few months of pulling out the family recipes and cooking as a family. So people realize now you can save a little bit of money by cooking at home, and it's going to be a little bit harder to get back out and buy from restaurants at the same level we used to. Although truthfully, I can't wait to get back out and sit down with some friends at a restaurant. Another thought for you is that the potential recession that's coming, just based on the lack of sales and people losing their jobs and people concerned about discretionary spending, is going to cause a little bit of economic hardship for a longer period of time on our retailers. And we need to be concerned about that. We should be supporting them, of course. I think the discount retailers as well as the value-oriented brands are going to be successful. And for the others, hopefully they're going to be able to connect with you with their brand and make a meaningful connection that's going to make you want to buy from them. Now, as we shift the thought to online e-tailers, I want to go back to restaurants for a minute, because restaurants have to think about how to bring their food supply through online as well. We've been buying a lot from restaurants online. In fact, there's a sushi place down the street that my family eats at almost every week. We love going and sitting in their store on a Friday night. But as they've been transitioning to more of an online experience, it's been a little painful to watch, if I'm honest. For the first month, I remember sitting outside every week of their store waiting for them to bring my food out for up to 30 minutes, because online they couldn't communicate to me when my food would be ready. Now, it's been about 2 months and they've dialed it in, and we're still supporting that business, but they're never going to go back. After COVID-19 is over, they're going to continue to promote and sell online, because why wouldn't you? They can reach a larger audience in a more effective way. And other restaurants and e-tailers that are figuring out how to offer more services online are just going to win in this difficult time. DoorDash, Postmates, Ship It, and Grubhub. These are all Uber Eats. These companies are exploding right now as they partner with retailers and restaurants in order to provide that delivery service. I think that the industries that are slow movers to get their product off the shelves and into an e-commerce platform are going to be challenged over time. I think we're going to see an investment by a lot of companies in e-commerce platforms, a lot of web development projects going on over the next few years as companies figure out how to move their product into a digital retail experience, which is going to be good for everyone all around, especially if you're in the IT industry and selling to all those companies who are going to need to move digitally. Now, another thought, I want to bring back something I said a little earlier, because I think it's really important. For e-commerce platforms and selling motions, selling through a social media platform is going to be key to your success. People are just on Twitter, people are on LinkedIn, people are on Instagram and Facebook, and marketing to people through that mechanism is the way to win. Think about first generating brand preference for yourself. Don't just throw out your products and try to sell on day one. Connect with your audience. Pick an area or subset of your customer base and tell them your story and how you're involved in their lives. And then when you market your solution to them, they'll be more likely to buy from you. Now, the results of selling more online are absolutely going to be a growth in the delivery industry and transforming our industry in new and different ways. Let me plant a couple of ideas in your head. As we move forward, I could see a world where when you go to Amazon to buy something online through an e-commerce platform, you're actually not going to buy a product that's going to be built overseas and shipped over in a container. You're going to probably be buying a 3D printed blueprint, and it will be digitally sent to a big warehouse with a lot of commercial 3D printers, where your product will be printed up on the spot, and an Uber-like service swings by, grabs it, and delivers it to your home. Your mobile app will tell you when they're at the street. So think about the next evolution of that, which is self-driving cars doing that delivery. Here in Phoenix, where I live, we have self-driving cars all the time, everywhere you drive, because we're a test bed for that technology. I've actually taken several rides in an Uber-like self-driving car service to get me from A to B, and it's quite the experience. But imagine a world where there's a special lane at Chick-fil-A. You order some food, your self-driving car swings by and picks up the food and delivers it straight to your house and notifies you to come out and grab it from the curb. It'll be an interesting new world as online retail starts to expand in new and interesting ways. Now, I hope this has been a fascinating conversation for you. I would love to hear from you what your ideas are on how retail and e-tail are going to be evolving as we live the post-COVID-19 era. Thanks a lot.